Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 22nd through the 28th. And during that time, we will have a waning crescent moon, and that's a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing. It's a period of time to just let go, rest, and just get ourselves prepared for the next cycle ahead, which starts on the new moon, which will come in on the 25th or the 26th, depending on where you are. And of course, a new moon is a really good time for a fresh start, a new beginning, a good time to, learn something new or start new projects. So please keep that in mind as you move through your week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Cancer. So of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message card for this reading, the energy is gaining momentum. All right, let's see what the Cancer Collective has going on this week. And Cancer, since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button right down there. Also, if you like my reading, you can also hit the like button. That just helps me with the algorithm and just helps my channel. It's super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment to do that right now while I'm shuffling. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see that, the people that have subscribed, you guys tend to watch the videos every week. And it's just really nice to know that you're there, that someone's out there listening. So thank you so much. All right, Cancer, my weekly reminder for this week is that you get out in nature, not just this week, but of course every week, but that's just my reminder for this week. So I know here in the United States, it's getting warmer. We've got summer coming, or here actually, on the 20th. So just get out and try to connect with nature, close your eyes and just get somewhere maybe where you can listen to nature, listen to water. If you're close to the ocean, we're all very jealous, by the way. But please don't take it for granted. Go listen to those waves for the rest of us. If you're near a lake or a creek, somewhere where you can just, hear water flowing, that's a really nice sound. Or just take some time. If you take a walk in the woods, maybe study a tree or a plant or just the sounds. Just close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the forest around you. We've got some cards flying out, Cancer. We will take all of those. But that is just my weekly reminder, is that you get out into nature this week. So, all right, Cancer, without further ado, we will take these cards. And let's see what's going on. The energy is gaining momentum. So your present energy is Page of Cups. So it seems like you're kind of in, I call the Page of Cups our comedian of the deck. So, I mean, doesn't he look, he's dressed in pink and flowery blue. There's a fish in his cup. And I just feel like, he's probably good for a laugh, right? So it seems like you're kind of in a jovial mood for whatever's going on. Your current situation is the King of Wands. So, maybe you're also, you're having a good time and you're happy, but you're definitely in a place where you're kind of getting things done when it comes to something that you're very, very passionate about. So, and, it doesn't mean that you have to be so serious all the time. Of course, you can have fun and laugh while you're doing something that you love to do and you're passionate. That's really the best way to go about it, right? At the root of your situation is the Magician. So it looks like you might have been, manifesting something that's starting to come to fruition, and whatever. And maybe it was in the wands area, maybe it was in the way of something that you're feeling some sort of passion for. This could be, a person that's come into your life. This could be some creative project that you're involved with. This could be something with your work, something that you just really feel deeply about and something that really energizes you and makes you want to get up in the morning and get it done. But that's the root of your situation. I guess the magicians are master manifestors. So if you've been, um, had something on your mind that you're trying to bring to fruition and it seems like it's coming in for you, right? And again, the energy is gaining momentum. So whatever it is, it seems like a good positive thing. It's something that you've wanted to happen. In your recent past, we have the Nine of Wands. So, you're kind of looking back, or you were, I don't think you are now, but you were kind of evaluating. And this could be, a lot of times when we're in these areas of evaluation, that's when kind of you call upon the Magician to say, I'm looking back and here are things in my life that I want to do differently. I would like to change. And the magician comes along to say, okay, well, and it's how do you want to change? What, are you trying to change your love life? Are you trying to change, how much passion or fire is in your life? Are you trying to change, your thought patterns or the way that you speak? But it seems like in this case, it is your passion and it's something that you're very knowledgeable or becoming very, very knowledgeable about. And again, you're doing it with a sense of humor. You're doing it in a very lighthearted and jovial, fun way, which is great. What is on your mind this week is the Eight of Swords. So there might be, this is a card of feeling like you're stuck a little bit. So there could be, something where you are feeling like, this is air energy. Maybe you're stuck in your way of thinking or in your way of speaking. There's something where you just feel like, how did I get here? And you're going to have to think or speak your way out of it. So definitely think about that. It's on your mind this week. It's something that so think of an area where you're feeling a little bit stuck and why. Go ahead and take that time to evaluate. You're not tied up tightly here with this card. You can definitely break out of this and you can very easily get that blindfold off after this what's tying her up here is not very tight. It's like break your hands out, get those get that blindfold off of you and you'll be able to navigate your way through this. So it's kind of a temporary blindness situation that you can definitely get yourself out of. What is just ahead of you is some sort of celebration here. So more wands with the Four of Wands. And this is the fours are about stability. This is about moving towards a place where you feel more stable. And this also could be a celebration of sorts. So, is there something in your future this week or something that you're going to be celebrating? And it could be something that you are very passionate and happy about, and you're going to have a good time doing all of this. But look at all the wands showing up here in this reading. Lots of passion and feeling and whatever it is that's going on for you this week. In your advice position is another four with the Four of Swords. So, your advice is also to think about all of this. So, more sword energy here. And it's take time to just rest, meditate, go within to find those answers, to find where are you stuck and why. And it's okay. Like I said, take time to think about that, to really just go within and just still your mind. And if that's something you do on this nature walk, maybe you just need to get away from everything for an hour or two, just get out in nature, go on a nice hike and get somewhere where you can just really, really think through things. And sometimes when we do that, that's when you kind of have moments of clarity. So definitely something for you to do. Also, because we have two fours now on the table, I would say look up angel number 44. We'll see if we have more come out as we finish this reading up. But look up angel number 44 and see if that has something to do with your current situation right now. What is beyond your control is the Ten of Pentacles, beyond your control, that you are in a position and moving forward towards, your your wealth, your security. You're working towards something that's bigger. You've got your eye on something that's bigger than this week or this month. I mean, this is really just a card of longevity and a card of really, the long game, really making sure that you're doing things that are right for you, the people around you, when it comes to, material things and your finances. But this could very much involve, your communication and your passion, which could all kind of be entangled in all of that. Um, Sometimes those things are entangled in the way that you make your living, right? So, but that's kind of beyond your control, is that's on your mind, like the big picture this week. What is your secret desire or what you're trying to avoid is the Knight of Cups. So, are you trying to avoid bringing some love into the situation? I know that was literally the entire theme of the Gemini reading. So, um, interesting sometimes when I see these cards that kind of repeat. In fact, a few cards from this reading have overlapped for me from the Gemini reading. If you have a Gemini that's close to you in your life, you may want to go and check out that reading. You may want to cross watch that for somebody. Only because, sometimes, again, when I do all of these readings, I can kind of see where all the different signs are intertangling, where you guys are, all the signs intermingle with each other. It's not just about you. You have family members, and you're in relationships and things that, and there are other signs, and other people have different energies and things that are going on in their world. And of course, they intertwine. So it's just interesting. Once I started reading for the collective like this, I started seeing that. I keep saying that one day I want to kind of it would be interesting to lay all of the readings out, all 12, to see all the different intertwining. So I haven't done that yet or thought about a creative way to do that, but I think it would be so interesting because I can see it from all the different readings, like where everything intertwines. Anyway, suffice to say, if you have a Gemini close to you, this was kind of the theme of their reading, was bringing love into the situation. So, this is your big question of the week. Is that, do you need to bring love into some situation, or are you trying to avoid that? Are you trying to, again, you're involved in this passion thing, and you've got this. You're being jovial and lighthearted. Are you avoiding bringing love into it? Is that something you need to do? That's your big question of the week. In your outcome position is the Five of Pentacles. So, are you kind of feeling like an outsider, or will you be by the end of the week? And maybe it is because of this not bringing love in. Are you not communicating something? Some sort of energy is gaining momentum. And it seems like in order to be plugged into it and plugged into what's really going on, you do need to take this time to rest and meditate, to ask yourself, why are you feeling so stuck? um, and again, this could be either intellectually or in communication. Why are you feeling so stuck with coming up with the correct words? Which seems to be the issue for you this week. Also, if you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know. What is it that you're finding uncomfortable to say? Maybe you guys, all of the Cancers, can compare notes on that this week. So, what is hidden from you this week is the Chariot. So, no movement on this. This is our card of movement and getting ready for movement, and I don't see that. This seems like it's going to be something that's going to play out longer than a week. Of course, it says the energy is gaining momentum. So this might be something, this celebration, this Four here of Wands, maybe there's a wedding a few weeks out, or some sort of celebration or something that's kind of a few weeks out. And, you're thinking about how you're going to manage things. You're thinking about what you're going to say. You're thinking about, can you bring love into this situation? Are you feeling like an outsider? So, um, again, I don't see that this is kind of something that's going to be ongoing for you, whatever the situation is. Let's see. Let's get a message here, a couple from the Soul Oracle deck. Trying to see if I missed anything here, Cancer. So it's definitely, this is brought on by some change that you've been trying to make. And because there's all of the elements are present, and a couple of major arcana here, it's very hard to tell what area of your life. This could be in many areas for different people. Anyway, but no big movement this week on this. This is just kind of a situation. It looks like you're mulling some things over, and it may continue for a couple of weeks. So whatever it is, just relax, take your time. Again, meditate, rest, think upon it, and maybe something will come to you. All right. Nurture yourself first. So yeah, that's a part of this Four of Wands there. Take care of yourself. Get your own mind situated and straight. Figure out why you're feeling so stuck here, with communication, or with, the thoughts that are kind of ruminating in your head. Get that figured out first. Nurture yourself, take care of yourself, and I think some of this other stuff will flow. Sometimes as soon as you get your own mind clear, then it's very easier. It's much easier to take care of situations that you have going on. So make sure you do that. Take care of yourself and find your backbone. Yeah, so this may be a situation where you need to find your backbone, speak up, and maybe that's what this is. Is there some sort of fear or some sort of situation where, that you just don't want to do it? And is it at the celebration? Again, there's no movement on this, but I feel like the energy's gaining momentum. It's something that you have out in your future, that's coming up for you, that you're already starting to sweat. And again, if it's if it's like a wedding, or sometimes that could just be like a family issue where there's a big gathering coming up, it's someone's birthday or a family reunion, and you have to see people that maybe you don't want to see. That happens in families. So and maybe you're going to feel uncomfortable, and it's just on your mind and you're worried about it. And again, rest, meditate, take care of yourself and nurture yourself. And then, yeah, find your backbone, find the way you feel about whatever it is, and then you just go be that. That's all you can do. What is the saying? What other people think of me is none of my business. So just try to apply that, and you do you, and live your life. So, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time here with me today. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. And of course, again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a message. Let me know if there's something coming up in your future. Do you have a celebration coming up? That that you have to encounter people that maybe you don't want to, or you're uncomfortable or feeling nervous about it. But drop me a comment and let me know. I do post readings every week, so come back next week and we'll see if this situation kind of continues. Again, I don't see movement on this. I see that you're like the wheels are turning in your mind, and you're kind of, this is off in the future and you're thinking about it. I mean, it's coming, but you don't have to deal with it this week, but you probably should start managing it this week, right? Anyway, I do post every week, so come back and we'll see what continues for you next week, or if there's a completely new energy, maybe you get this solved and it'll be just fine. So, also, once again, if you like my reading style, of course, please like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, and I really appreciate that. And most importantly, Cancer, it'll help you find me next week. So, thanks so much. Good luck with this situation, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.